My guest is Kaitlin Butts. She's had an amazing year. She's been working her ass off. One second, I gotta talk good about you. She's a powerhouse red dirt country artist with a strong pen game, whose music wields heartbreak, humor, and heritage in equal measure. She's a Tulsa native. Kaitlin has released a string of deeply personal records with her 2015 debut, Same Hell, Different Devil, the critically acclaimed What Else Can She Do in 2022, and now her stunning concept album, Roadrunner, inspired in part by her lifelong love of musical theater, and in particular, the Rodgers and Hammerstein classic about her homeland, Oklahoma, ! She's described her music as sad yeehaw country about generational trauma. Can't wait to get into that. Covering topics like addiction, abuse, infidelity, but Kaitlin always manages to inject humor and theater into her songs that each tell a vivid story. She's a maverick of the red dirt scene, a bold fashion icon. We go to the same dry cleaners, so I know. A Grand Ole Opry performer and a recent Ameripolitan Award winner for Best Honky Tonk Female. So today we might discuss her shift from musical theater to country music, her take on country music today, our fellow collaborator Vince Gill, and what it feels like to see people singing her song on every social platform. What it's like to be married to a fellow artist enjoying success, and what it's like to be on a meteoric rise in a genre still reckoning with its boundaries. So everybody, welcome to the stage, Kaitlin Butts. For this amazing band, everybody. We got the black dress, cowboy boots memo.
We're so mysterious.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know how busy you are, and I was just overhearing what your tour schedule is like. You're leaving bright and early tomorrow, so thanks for making a little stop here at Chiefs.
Wouldn't miss it.
And thank you all for joining us, and everyone joining at home, streaming on volume.com. Let's start really light and talk about this quote that you said about your music, how sad yeehaw music about generational trauma. Let's just jump in there.
Yeah, really light topic.
Totally light. I mean, do you feel that writing about these experiences helps you kind of move through that trauma? And like, how do you decide when to be funny and when to be, because you have some beautiful melancholy music, but you also have like this little wink that you're able to do probably because of your theater background, but big question.
Yeah, no, I have a really hard time not saying exactly what's on my mind. As you've probably heard backstage, I just don't stop saying exactly what goes right in there. It just comes right out.
Here for it.
But that also, comes through with like what's going on in my life and talking about the topics that are not so bright and not so happy, and some things that I've noticed like in experiencing, generational trauma or watching someone I love like deal with substance abuse or domestic violence. Those are these like kind of hard topics to talk about, and I don't really understand why, because we've all met somebody, or we know somebody, or we are somebody that has dealt with those really hard things, and I think that the more that we talk about it, the more it is normal, so why not normalize it and talk about it and sing about it? And whenever I was experiencing this really toxic human in my life, I went to my friend Angelina Presley, who's in the Pistol Annies, and she and I like really bonded over narcissism and just the intricacies of dealing with a narcissistic person. There's not very many of them, but if you've dealt with somebody like that, it's a really hard personality. You need to go to therapy, and after leaving that songwriting session, I just remember leaving feeling so not alone, and going into it feeling really alone in this topic. And I was like, we apparently know the exact same person in a different body. They're all the same. How do they do all these tactics, and how do they like operate the exact same, and how do they do that? But it's all narcissism. And but anyways, left feeling refreshed and left feeling like I wasn't alone in it. And the more I sing about it, and the more I go to audiences and play these songs, the more like I feel more encouraged to sing about it and talk about it, even though it's not super light. But I make sure to tell people, like, hey, I know this is not generational trauma and domestic violence and substance abuse are not very light subjects, but I feel like that's what country music is all about, is singing about the truth and things that have happened to you in the world as you see it. And so why not talk about it? Because I can't shut up about it, because I've lived it, and I just want to encourage people to get up and leave out of those situations too.
Absolutely. Amen. And I think that's generous of you, because people probably feel like they need to not talk about it or pretend like it didn't exist.
There's a lot of shame attached to it.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be, because you've survived something that's incredible. But like, you, even when you are dressing it up in humor, like, it still is such a zinger, and it's so satisfying to hear that I imagine people feel seen. And I know that that's also kind of what your whole foray into country music was. You just were like, oh, I'm like that person. When you heard the Wreckers album, and like, you started to see these strong female voices in the country space, but not really abiding by the rules and talking about these things that were not taboo, but personal.
Yeah.
And Angelina is kind of like a soothsayer when it comes to these things. She's,
oh my God.
She's like got an antenna for emotion, and I can imagine that was a really great collaboration.
It really was. We left going, well, I remember her saying this very specifically. She goes, well, I don't know if this song is going to go on the radio, but I really like this song. And I was like, that's the coolest, as someone who just loved like Pistol Annies and loves them, and they're the women that I was like covering whenever I was first playing guitar. And so to get to write with her was already like such a win for me, but for her to leave and say, you know, that this is a song that really meant something to her, it felt really good. And then I got to invite her to come watch me sing it at the Grand Ole Opry, to debut my Opry performance, and to see her in the audience. Like, all of these things are, I don't know, you're supposed to go through them and supposed to process them and supposed to talk about them too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about them and frame them in such an entertaining and beautiful, musically beautiful way. There she is, razzle dazzle. But I want to get back to what you said about the radio thing later. I still want to kind of just orient, everyone knows who you are, it seems like, in this crowd, but orient them with, you know, how you got into music. And Angelina's a big collaborator and female force in your life. But I know that your mom also was like a big influence on your persona. And was she the one to first discover the musician in you? And how, like, the music theater thing too is very intriguing to me.
So I was in a gymnastics class, and the I was 4 years old, and the gymnastics teacher said, this girl does not like gymnastics, but what she does like to do is sing and dance in the mirror the whole time. So you should put her in front of a mirror and let this girl sing, and put her in musical theater, and that's what my mom did. And so from then on, I really just loved to sing. That's how I learned to read, was like reading lyrics. I would know every word to every song. My mom would put the lyrics in front of me and be like, you know how to read now, there you go. But musical theater is just like something that I've always been gravitated towards, but weaved in and out of all of my recital performances and even like musicals that I've been in. I've always been in some kind of country garb. I've been like in Will Rogers' Follies as Mary Rogers. I've done like tap dances to Johnny Cash's Get Rhythm, or I've done the Chicks, Let Her Rip. Like, my whole life I've been in some kind, or Toy Story. Like, I was always just like singing in country western stuff on a recital stage doing musical theater somehow. And so country music, there's so many things intertwined with musical theater, because there's humor, there's storytelling, there's drama, which is my favorite, and there's just so much in common between the two. And I didn't really notice that until like I did this last album, but that's kind of what made it for me. It felt the most authentic to me, because bringing my two things that I love so much together.
Well, and when you're singing about the topics that you're singing about, you can't really have a bad night where you don't want to go there, or maybe you aren't feeling really jovial and comedic, but having that theater background probably allows you to just go there in that moment for your audience and like meet that song where you need to meet it, and the day you created it, kind of honoring that feeling. And also just your whole aesthetic, and like I love your live performance, your music videos. There's the drama, honey. I love it. We need more of that. And I think that's why people love Dolly Parton, and they love people who throw their whole selves into their craft. And you being one of the few women in the red dirt scene, I think that's part of your superpower, because you're like an amazing songwriter, you are an amazing artist, but then you also get to dress it up in a way that I think the men don't. So that's you can sharpen that as a weapon, and you do. And I think you're having fun doing it.
I love doing it so much. I love it, and I don't know. I just love to wear costumes and wear things that make me happy, and I think that they make people happy too. I think people get excited when they see glitter coming by, and I don't know, but I mean, have y'all been to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum? Okay, have you noticed? Men used to dress it the hell up. They used to glitter themselves out. And lately, I'm just seeing some black and navy suits, and I'm sorry, but I'm bored.
Kaitlin Butts is unimpressed.
Some guys could step it up, and I think they should do that too. And I've seen some guys really step it up. I know Orville Peck, and there's been really some incredible dresser-uppers out there, but I think that we could keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who were some of your favorite, designers? I know you work with some people individually. Or you don't need to give up your secrets. I know this guy's trying to get all your secrets tonight. He wants your designer's name.
A girl that makes a lot of my sets for me, her name is Snake Farm Creative, and she and I, it's just me on my iPad just drawing stuff, and she'll send me stuff from her iPad drawing, and we just collaborate together. And another guy named Youssef, who lives here in Nashville, he'll just come over to my house and he'll go shopping for me and find really cute stuff at Nordstrom and bring it to my house. But it's definitely a collaborative effort of just and me internet shopping on Instagram. It just gets me every time. The algorithm knows what I want. It knows that I just want to keep it freaky, and it knows that I'll buy it. And I've got enough time in the back of the van, and I've got an Apple Card with no limit, it seems. So
it seems, yes.
Yeah.
We'll worry about that later. But we go to the same dry cleaner. I told you this backstage, because in East Nashville, I was waiting for my dress, and I was looking at the garment conveyor, and I was like, surely I'm the only one who owns this rainbow beaded tasseled fringe dress. I was like, oh, there it is. And the woman was like, no, that's Kaitlin Butts' dress. And I was like, I like this girl. I got to meet her. This was a couple years ago. But it's the loudness with which you present, I think, is really fun. And
some people would say it was scary, but I'm good with that one.
You know what? It's like the Bob Weir quote, Grateful Dead. People don't like black licorice, but those who love it, love it. So let yourself be that. I want to jump around to the order in which you released some albums. What Else Can She Do was 7 years released after your debut. And you were touring and releasing these killer singles, no pun intended. But that was an unapologetically sad album, and you just kind of broke open your rib cage for us, it seemed. What was going on that made you want to release that after that period of time?
It was just for What Else Can She Do, I had gone through a really hard time. I had watched people all around me dealing with just all the things that I talked about: generational trauma, domestic violence, substance abuse. And I just looked around, and I didn't feel very happy. I didn't feel like there was a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how hard I tried to see it. I thought about, and I just wrote about what I saw and what was around me. But what I did see was really resilient women and people who were just trying to survive. And I felt like I wanted people to see themselves in this album too, and know that. I also thought about putting a brighter song to lighten it up and make it a happy, I don't know, put How Lucky Am I on there to, I don't know, put a love song on there. But I was like, no, that's not what I'm feeling at this time. I'm not feeling very happy, or I'm feeling pretty hopeless. And I wanted people to see themselves in that. And then with this next one, I wanted people to see that if they'd gone through any of those things, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And this one, that last album felt just like a nighttime album, but this one felt like the sunrise.
I love that. Well, and also what restraint to not try to conform to meeting the criteria to make it a more
this kind of song,
marketable album. Yeah, and that's what you were feeling, and just really leaning into that feeling is a scary thing to do. I mean, and you needed to honor that, and we probably would have gotten fatigued going out and singing a song that you weren't feeling at the time. So I that's hard, and it kind of, I was wondering, just other than the subject matter of that album, what else can she do? Like the state of country music too. Like if that was a deterrent for you to make an album, because I think you are country, like the Recording Academy just came out with this new category of traditional country, and I'm so happy that they've carved this space out for people like yourself so that they're not going to get lost. But there is still this culture of country music that I think gets muddied up, and there's so many subgenres, and I wish people would kind of treat it as such.
This episode of Salute the Songbird is brought to you by Bearded Man Coffee, elevating coffee from cafe to kitchen to campsite. Follow at Bearded Man Coffee on socials.
How do you describe your genre of music?
I feel
other
like
than yeehaw sad
yeehaw vibes.
Yeah.
I feel like just straight up country. I really I love the Chicks and what they put, the music that they put out was so it was just larger than life to me, and they just were they're so great instrumentally, and the songs that they put out were just everything. Their set was just killer, and I just wanted to be that. And so and even the music like in the Red Dirt scene, I just have never thought about commercial success when making an album. It's not been a thought in my mind, or even country radio, or even like a TikTok viral success moment, just because it kind of almost feels unattainable and not like my world at all. And so whatever I'm writing, it's always just like whatever is literally burning a hole inside of me, and I have to get it out until it's right. And it's more about like what I decide is good or bad, and whatever makes it past that filter.
So you don't feel this pull to be constantly releasing music and feeding the beast, or you are very prolific, so that's probably inherently what you're doing anyway. But if there's not that project that you want to put together, you're just kind of gonna allow that time to marinate? I
kind of go in phases of creativity where when I'm done writing, like I'll go into the creative phase of writing the album, then the creative phase of making it, and then the creative phase of marketing it and putting it out and doing the music videos, like really dreaming those things up and how we're gonna go on tour and make that. Like I go into different phases, and right now I'm kind of reverting back to that writing phase where we're thinking about the next thing. Even though this kind of viral moment has kind of reverted me back to like, okay, while this is happening, y'all come look at what I did here while we're making the other thing. But I'm definitely in that writing phase right now.
Yeah, I feel that it's very cyclical. Like when you're touring and you're traveling like you are right now, it's hard to just be like, oh, let me find this peaceful moment to craft a song. Like there are definitely
I don't have time to feed myself half the time.
Different modes of creativity. Yeah, well, you should make sure you're doing that.
Well, I mean, I definitely do, but it's like, I don't know. I don't.
You're like, I just fall in a plate of food after the show and then roll over into
You're just
bed.
kind of I mean, you're scrambling to just take care of yourself generally and just get enough water in your body. And there's to hell with emails and people texting you. Like you're just trying to survive out there. And so the thought of writing a song, it's like, absolutely not. Nope. Can't do that. But there are times where I'm just like grabbing my phone for voice memo, writing something down that somebody said in conversation, because I really love like conversational lines or lingo that is just in our common language that sticks out.
That's the hardest stuff to kind of cultivate, really.
Yeah. When you're just sitting there in your room or like with another person staring at you for 4 hours, it's hard to think of those really like hick town things that people say.
That's what I would have said if I just removed myself from the intensity of that for a second.
Yeah.
Well, and like the Roadrunner music video that you have is so kind of like what you're talking about with this writing process. It also felt like it was captured in the field where you were just doing B-roll of footage from you touring all over the country, but then it would cut to like you glammed out, like performing in a venue and then lassoing a mechanical bull. And it's like, she's so cool. And like, I'm seeing your life on the road. but you're still able to be creative in putting those visuals together. Like, that's so resourceful of you. You seem very...
I'm so resourceful.
You seem very resourceful.
What's funny is, like, the week that we made the couple weeks that we made those music videos, it was such a... it was not a good time. We were in Jal, New Mexico. We were
Jowl? Like
Jal, J-A-L.
Oh.
And there was a couple of shows that they were paying well, but they were in front of maybe 12 people. And it was like a community like had hired us to come, and so but they like the community did not have a community there, and we were playing to lunch tables and porta potties, and oh man, like this was a point where it was 2 weekends of kind of or just bad weather where it would just kind of ruin the vibe. If you hang out with a musician long enough, you know that we really live off of the high, and if we don't get that high, we start to get really, really low and start to get really depressed. And that's kind of how it was. Like, band wants to quit, I want to quit. I'm looking from out the window of this trailer, like, if this is how it's gonna be, if I'm gonna be performing on the back of a trailer for the rest of my life, kill me with a gun. No, don't want to do that. I need it to like start climbing. And it was a time that I just like could not. I had worked for so long on doing this for like 10, 12 years. And it's like I'm watching people on Instagram, you know, kind of take the next step and kind of grow a little bit, or people that have started after me like fly past. And I'm just in that trailer in Jal, New Mexico, just watching on Instagram story, like, God, end it now. Just tell me if I need to stop. And that's when we were filming this music video. We had a girl out on the road with us, and
I would have had no idea you were having an existential crisis.
No, I mean,
wow.
it was. We were in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It was just there were just so many. It was just like 2 weekends of bad shows, but it was a couple weeks before the album came out, and it was kind of, it's one of those weird holding periods where right when you're about to do something, it's like the growing pains of like waiting for something to come out, and you're like, I hope this is worth it, but it's something, I had something to show for all this work, but I don't know, it was just such a weird time, like in between recording an album and putting it out. But that was a for sure facade, that whole music
There's
video.
that musical theater background coming in.
Well, we went to JAL. That totally musical theater background is acting. The reason why we went to JAL was because the next day we filmed this guy who had horses that were not broken in, by the way, who had horses that he was just going to let us ride them. And I was like, okay, put me on. Oh. Threw my fiddle player off of the horse.
No.
Within the first 20 seconds, we look up, and Lane, my fiddle player, is coming full speed at all of us. And he is like hands in the air. The horse stops, and Lane just flies. He just rolls, and I'm like, he's dead. There he is. He's gonna be dead. But we still have a music video to shoot. But he was like, that was awesome. I'm like, you are 12 years old. But yeah, that was the whole, I mean, shooting that, getting it done. I edited the whole thing. Me and my friend Fernando, who it might be here tonight somewhere. I don't know. He's not here. He and I sat in the living room for about 4 or 5 days because the original videographer did not give us very much to work with. And so then I literally was just getting 1 second by 1 second clips that I could put in. It was just a whole thing of just faking it till you make it.
That is so impressive.
Yeah. You gotta work with what you got, honey.
That's right. I'm so impressed, and I mean, it's not like you've been doing this for a long time, and you are finally having this moment where you're like, well, I have your attention. Come look at all this other amazing stuff that I've done, and like this writing and this depth of work that you've accumulated over the years. It is kind of crazy that this song you wrote on an album that you released in 2024 is now just like blowing up, and every time I open any platform of social media, there's someone I know or someone I don't know personally, but some famous person
like
singing.
The Real Housewives of New York, Bethany Frankel.
Is that the newest? I haven't
That's
seen
the newest
Bethany
one.
Frankel.
Oh my God, we got a Real Housewife, honey. Yes.
So how, because I know that like my attitude about country radio, that used to be the determining force of what would become popular. Well, now it's TikTok, and you've got one on the line, and it's a great song and it's fun. Do you feel like you are playing shows and people are knowing all of your material, or are they kind of really reacting to that one song?
I haven't played very many shows. I had pneumonia the last couple of weeks, so the couple of
No big deal. Thanks for being here.
No, absolutely, I wouldn't miss it. The first time that I really noticed it, because I've always just played shows and opening sets. I was opening for Wyatt Flores, and half of these, maybe a quarter of the audience might know who I am, or like maybe might have a name recognition thing, but most of the time people are just learning about me if I'm opening a set. And so this is the first time when by the first chorus I saw phones popping up, like a wall of them. And that does not happen for me. It was so cool though. And I mean, people before would just be kind of like laughing and bobbing along. But that was the first time I saw like a wall of phones. And I just want that to keep happening and for them to find all the other stuff too.
So you're loving it. You're not freaked out by it. And
no, I needed this.
You deserve it.
I've been needing this.
She's ready.
Give me a break, honey.
Good. Yeah.
Mama needs a boat.
Yeah. You do. You're not a trailer. You don't deserve to be performing on trailers anymore.
I don't.
Just perform on a yacht.
Only
Let's get this girl a yacht show.
Only when I elect to play on a trailer. I love to play a trailer gig. They're
all for if it's autonomy and it's your choice.
It's the spirit of the trailer gig. If there's a crowd of people who want to hear it, but this was not it. This was not it.
I feel like for me, maybe just as a spectator in this matter, it's so satisfying for me to see someone who, let's be frank, would never get played on country radio before getting this success right now. Because I think the system was never really designed for you, designed for me. And this is kind of, I think, why we're having to recognize the vocal country artists like you and Charlie Crockett and Sierra Farrell and people who like are gonna say whatever it is that they need to say that's might not necessarily work in that space.
Well, there's an audience for it. There's demand for it.
Of
course. I think for the first time audiences are getting to decide who that happens to also. I mean, algorithm helps, but I think that people are not just fed one thing, and we're not so dependent on country radio where we now can find people on Spotify playlists, or we can find people on TikTok and find out who we love, and then we can support them and build them up in a grassroots kind of way.
Right. And when you're standing in front of an audience, that audience is there for you, not because you happen to be played on their favorite station. Like, it's much more curated. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you talked about the Grand Ole Opry, and that's another fascination of mine because I play there all the time. I don't think my music is necessarily something that you would consider.
You belong at the Grand Ole Opry.
I love the Grand Ole Opry, and I feel at home there. But I also know that like it's an institution that's been around for a long time because it is realizing the artists like you and me and Jamie Johnson even, and our fellow collaborator Vince Gill, who's a legend. Like I met him because of playing at the Opry. But I feel like it's also there's some rules you want to follow. I'm gonna be my more PG self when I'm playing at the Opry. I would say
most edited self ever.
Yeah.
When I'm up there.
So how does the first time you play You Ain't Gotta Be Dead go over at the Grand Ole Opry? Where did you have people stunned in the audience?
Man, I was so excited. I'm always so excited because that older crowd, they like, you think that they're gonna be pearl clutchers, but they also love to be naughty. They love just like a little bit. They love that little bit of southern naughty, that where they get to be a little bitchy, and it's fine, and they love it. And so getting to be on that stage is so iconic. I really have to like make sure to not say anything stupid or bad or foul, but. Also, can I say, is this a clean thing too? I just said the B word.
No, you're okay.
Okay.
Is she all right? I think you're okay.
Somebody edit me.
No, they're coming in, security.
They're coming in.
All right, so I mentioned Vince Gill. I have to bring this up.
Yes.
I sang a duet of I Can't Make You Love Me with him
Yes.
because I met him at, thank you. I met him at the Opry. He would sit there side stage and listen to the whole show, and he was the headliner. And we just happened to be there many, many nights together. And I just called him up and asked him if he would do it, and he said yes. And I was like, well, do you want to hear it? He's like, I'm not your A&R. And then it happened. I know that you guys sang a song together that's awesome, and it's an original, and you're both Oklahomans, but there's a story behind it that you saw a woman in a tank top that said cowboy pillows, and that directed your song. And I'm wondering if Vince knows the origin. Surely he does.
He does.
And now you've got some merchandise?
I think I made him blush a little bit whenever I asked him to sing on the song, and it's obviously about like laying on a woman's chest and how we're just gentle. Women are gentle creatures in a soft place to land, if you will. And then asking Vince, he was just like, yes, without really even hearing it.
Right, yeah. That tracks, yes.
It tracks. But I mean, that's how cool he is, and that's the trust. And what was your question? Sorry, so, I got excited thinking about Vince Gill. I love him so much.
Come Rest Your Head on My Pillow, your song from Roadrunner. It's a beautiful duet, and it doesn't sound naughty or anything, but no. I know that you were influenced with the title because you saw a woman wearing
pillows.
Crop top that said cowboy pillows.
Yeah, and
now then, you have merchandise that you sell, right?
Well, there's a company that trademarked it, so I can't do it. But totally fine. She's given me a lot of free merch, so we're even. No, she. So whenever I got to sing it, I was playing on the same night as him singing Come Rest Your Head, and I only wanted to sing it because I wanted him to sing it with me, and he said yes too. But I was like so excited to get to tell the story about it because I knew that he probably hadn't really heard it, but he's side staging, so I'm all shaky, and I say that, and why I love him is because you can tell that even though he has this very strong Christian country background, he's cool too. Like he can take a joke and he can. There's a nuance to it. He didn't get all. He didn't clutch his pearls or anything like that. He was really cool about it. And I was singing it, he just was grinning from ear to ear, just like I think realizing what he was singing. He's like, "Come rest your head on my pillow," and I'm like, "Guys, this is serious," and he is just like laughing.
Also, pillows plural helps kind of indicate it.
Yeah.
You do have really great merch though, and I know that your audience shouts, "We want butts, we want butts."
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have the cowboy pillows, but you guys should all go purchase her other.
Man,
you really lean into that last name, and I love that.
I really do. I got some new Sophie shorts, ladies. You know Sophie shorts. I have brand new merch out. There's one that says, I am scared of Kaitlin Butts. There's one that says, Kaitlin Butts made me cry. What's the other ones? I used to have one that says, I like Kate Butts and I cannot lie. Or Kaitlin Butts drives me nuts, which was like an old Wrangler ad. But we really try. It's just me being an iPad kid and sitting on my iPad just thinking about the funniest stuff I can put on a sticker. So I'm glad you like it.
Well, we all know where we're spending
KaitlinButts.com.
Our unlimited Apple card tonight as well. Let's talk about your newest album, Roadrunner, and the fact that it's such a cool adaptation of Oklahoma. And I know that your husband, Cleto, who's also an amazing musician and frontman of Flatland Cavalry, had never seen a musical before, right?
He had never seen a musical, and it was in the middle of 2020. And I was like, oh my God, we have so much time. And look who has the remote. It's me. And I started him off strong with Chicago because of Robert De Niro. God love him. And I just knew that I think with Chicago, whenever you start someone out with a musical, you have to like ease them into it. There's a reason why they just break out into song. You don't want to freak them out. But I was also like, if you're a songwriter, like you're gonna at least appreciate what goes into these musicals and the production and the songwriting and the vocals and the storytelling and then as I'm watching Oklahoma. It's where I'm from. And I realized that just before 2020, we had all shut down. I had realized that I had written a song called Spur that says, why do you give her the spur when you know she needs the reins? And there's this scene in Oklahoma where Lori throws Judd out of his own wagon and just like leaves him in the dust. And I was like, oh my God, that is like the perfect visual, like what the music video for Spur right there, like 7 seconds. That would be the Spotify canvas right there. And then I started sitting there thinking about it. I was like, do I have anything else that like would go with Oklahoma? And like, also 2020, I'm bleaching my groceries, and the bleach is probably like going to my head at this point, hallucinating. No, and then there's another character. His name is Ali Hackham, and he's the peddler man, and he's like selling all this stuff out of this buggy, and he has this smelling salts, which helps you make decisions for your life and stuff. And I had this song called Wild Juanita's Cactus Juice, which is about a woman peddler who has this little this juice that will save the world if you drink it.
Yeah, I want to try that juice. That song made me want to
get
a sample. Yes.
Yeah. And so it started there. It started with those two songs, and I was like, there's no way that this is a coincidence. Like, these are older songs that I've written. And then I just built it from there, and I was like, what if I recreated Oklahoma the musical and saw what those songs would sound like in today's world and in country music? Bleach. And that's what I did. I started writing to the different characters that I'd grown up loving. Like Curly was my first crush ever, and Ado Annie. Just trying to recreate those stories and that sound, and then also kind of recreating some of their stories and different plot lines, and try to go that way with it. I went full send.
I love
crazy.
it. It's beautiful. It's lush, and like it has all that orchestral sound to it. And I mean, you covered Nancy Sinatra on it, which I also heard a lot of that, like Lee Hazelwood, Nancy kind of like desert 70s awesomeness. So Oklahoma may have been the seed for it, even with Roadrunner and the exclamation point in the title. And like, I love the whole idea, and that you paid such credit to the musical, but it's totally original, and it was very, very cool. And now I also was going to ask, my husband's never seen a musical, so I'm going to start with Chicago.
And moved to Oklahoma.
Yes.
You may have to fast forward through the ballet scene. It's kind of long, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, I got time. We're fine.
Give him caffeine right before.
Well, I'm so excited for your success with that album, and especially because of the fact that it's like your homeland, and you are such a true original in the space that you occupy. So inhale more bleach is the moral of the story.
Let's go after this.
We're all buying your merch and inhaling bleach after this.
Let's get on our
iPads,
that, everybody.
What is it like to be touring and married to another musician? Like, that's also a bleach inhaling side effect.
He helps.
Yes.
No, it's really great. We've been together for 9 years now. We got together. He had heard one of my songs on the radio driving through Fort Worth, and he Shazammed it, which is now the dating app for musicians, which is Shazam. He liked the song. It was actually like a song about not needing a man, and he was like, I like that. And then he had this song that was really, really sad, and it was so sad that it was depressing, and his friend was like, you should turn that into a duet to make it less depressing. And he thought about that person that he heard on the radio, and that was me. And we met in the studio, and then we were just good friends, and then we weren't friends, and we were way more than that. And then we started dating, and then we got married in 2020.
That's awesome. Well, It's very cool that you guys seem so supportive of each other, and you get to make music together. And I mean, there's nothing more intimate than that, honestly. And I know that you are touring. You have tour dates on KaitlinButts.com all the way into 2026. And you probably have more that you haven't posted yet. And you're playing at Red Rocks in October.
My booking agent's here tonight. Shout out. What's up? Thanks for putting me in jail, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Worst day of my life.
Keeping her busy.
But we got that check, though, right?
He's like, no. But thank you so much for being here. I know how busy you are. And you also, she's like, but we did get that check, right?
We did.
Okay.
We did.
And you just are featured on a new Marcus King song with Jamie Johnson.
Yes, I'm so excited.
What else are you excited about?
Oh man, I'm excited to tour with Lainey Wilson. I'm on tour this weekend I'm on tour with my husband's band Flatland Cavalry. Next week I'm on tour with Sierra Farrell, which I'm so excited to be all costumed up with her. And then next month is Lainey Wilson tour. I've got 9 dates with her. We're going up to Canada, Lord willing we make it. And then Molly Tuttle at the end of this year. And I'm just completely stacked in all different directions, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome. Well, I hope I get to catch you playing out there at some point. Yeah, let's hang out. We live close to each other.
We go to the same dry cleaner.
I
Let's
know.
do it.
I won't steal your dress next time, I promise. I was like, no, that's mine, I'm sure
Just
of
pick it up and bring it to my house.
Well,
I need help.
Thank you guys so much. I have one more question. What's your favorite part about being a woman in the music industry?
Sorry.
I think the camaraderie between other women and lifting each other up, just other women. I think the biggest thing that I've learned during this tour, this like viral moment, is like this lie that I've been told my whole career of women don't want to hear other women and women are jealous of each other. It's so not true. If you go to the sound, it's so not true. If you go to my TikTok sound and you scroll through all the people that have made videos with my music, it is all women. It's all girls. It's all my peers, and it's people who are just like lifting each other up. And the only reason why this song is doing so well is because other women lifted it up. And so my favorite part about being a woman is other women.
You're here. I love that. Thank you, Kaitlin.
Yeah.